Welcome, all you Walmart shoppers. It's time for the Cozy Quilt Cinema. I'm Michelle.
And I'm Beth. Every week we dive into a movie, tracing the emotional thread from our first watch to how it resonates today.
Sounds awesome. It's morning. It's morning podcast recording, so you know.
So we're going to talk about Where the Heart Is.
Yes, we are.
2000 is when it was made or when it came out.
Yes.
So the IMDb summary is Novalee Nation, a pregnant 17-year-old from Tennessee is abandoned by her boyfriend, Willie Jack Pickens, at a Walmart in Sequoia, Oklahoma. With no money, skills, or home, she secretly lives in the Walmart until her daughter, Americus, is born 6 weeks later. Novalee decides to raise her daughter and rebuild her life in Sequoia with the help of a community of eccentric but kind strangers. That's it.
Yeah, and I think that's definitely an important point in this movie is the community aspect of it all. Yes, it is a romantic comedy. I don't see the comedy per se.
It's not a comedy, it's a romantic drama.
Romantic drama?
Yeah, that's how it's
it is labeled.
classified.
I thought it said romantic comedy, but I could be conflating it with something else.
We conflate romantic and comedy together because we tend to have a dearth of...
Well, I think I was looking at a different movie when I saw that. So this movie was directed by Matt Williams. And Matt Williams, you may know as the actual creator of Roseanne. And I don't know if y'all know, but Roseanne got very upset by the fact that he was labeled as creator and would not use the lines that he had written and put up a big stink about it. And he was eventually fired within the first season, but his name remained on the show as creator as well as the Connors when the reboot came later on. Babaloo Mandel and Lowell Gantz, the writing or the screenplay writing duo, I guess they're a powerhouse. They write together. They've been writing together for years. We've met Babaloo before in Splash and Vibes, so we could see the best and the worst of him, and now let's hope that this kind of settles in a nice happy medium. Because I like Vibes, but I also hated Vibes.
So Matt Williams also did The Cosby Show, and he was also the creator and executive producer for Home Improvement. Mm-hmm. So he's done a lot of TV series.
A lot of TV series.
Which will come out in this movie because it kind of poses a lot like a made-for-TV movie.
The one thing I noticed about this movie is it's a lot of vignettes. Like you're saying, yeah, TV, like a TV movie. Sure. Or like if you broke this up into the different parts of it, it could have been a whole season of a show. Because you would have like little mini arcs, but then the overarching, I guess, does that make sense? Like, because you have the little bits.
Yeah. You're expanding on the idea of the TV movie, again. So I'm just letting you talk.
Well, it wasn't really so much, I was thinking of a TV movie as much as I was thinking of like actual, like a series. So we have Natalie Portman as Novalee Nation. We have Ashley Judd as Lexie Coop, who I love. And I love Lexie. And I love her children's names, Brownie, Cherry, Praline, and Baby Ruth. We don't actually get to know the new two names of the two babies that she has after, but yeah, she has a lot of children. We have Stockard Channing as Sister Husband, Thelma, Sister Husband, and Joan Cusack as Ruth Myers, and James Frayne as Forney Hull. A lot of and Sally Fields as Lil Mom. Ma Lil, sorry, Lil Ma. I did that backwards. Ma
Sounds
Lil.
like a rapper.
Yeah. So, and little Mackenzie Fitzgerald as America's Nation. They don't really, I don't think they credit the baby because obviously the baby changes as she ages, but the little girl, they credit her.
Sure.
And the only reason why I did this is because, again, I got his name backwards. Keith David.
That's his fault for having two first names.
Oh, two first names. Keith David is an actor that you have heard his voice in everything. You have seen his face, but did not necessarily put two and two together. We have Keith David, who plays what I consider to be a very racist name, even though I guess Beth looked it up, and the last name of White Cotton is a British name, and there's a history behind it. But honestly, Moses White Cotton for a black man, to me, sounds like an extremely racist name, but that's neither here nor there. You may know Keith David from various things. Even if you don't necessarily recognize his name, you'll know his voice, and you may even recognize his face. He has been in everything. And in recent years, people may recognize him as the voice of the president on Rick and Morty. I can't think of the name of the character that he played on Community the last season, but he's the guy with the RV.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just can't think of the name he played of the character.
I honestly cannot place the name.
But yeah, he's in everything. He's just one of those actors, not really character actors, but because he plays different characters, but he's an actor who plays
a lot of things.
Yeah. So how did this movie make you feel the first time you saw it?
Well, see, I'm at a bit of a disadvantage on the first time I saw it, because the first time I saw it, I had a different perspective.
Mm-hmm. Same.
I mean, I was presenting as male. I was not seeing the point of view of a cis woman.
Mm-hmm.
I could obviously see the very deep situations.
Yes.
The assholeness of the dude at the start.
Mm-hmm.
Of Pickens.
Willie Jack.
Yeah, and it's just, I grew up in that area, but I had to listen to this horrible Southern accent going throughout the entire thing. But yeah. I grew up in the Tennessee area.
Yeah.
And I could equate with the kind of trailer aesthetic that is happening. I didn't necessarily want to see it in a movie, because I don't watch movies to see a replay of my life.
I feel that in a way. Anything that takes place in New Jersey inevitably has to do with gangs, the mob and stuff like that. So I get that. It's very tiring.
So I don't know. It's hard to quantify. I was mostly indifferent.
Okay.
I was. And it's horrible to say now, but I was mostly indifferent, because if you don't want to confront something, you ignore it exists. And I didn't want to confront anything about myself, which this movie tends to point out the lie of things.
Yeah.
That's one of the themes that I think that it tries to go with. But it's not so much a romantic, or it wasn't a romantic drama to me. It was more of a drama that had romance mixed somewhere in it.
I see that.
Did that change for me now? We'll talk about that when it comes to it. So yeah, I was mostly ambivalent, although I thought it was heart-wrenching in a lot of ways, but I missed a lot, and we'll go through that. But how did you feel when you first watched this movie?
So once again, like I like to always do, drag you all back to the time of when I saw this movie. In the year 2000, I had two children, two small children, ages 2 and under. Oh no, sorry, ages 4 and under, 6 and under. I don't remember how old. I'm trying to remember how old my oldest was in 2000. He was 6, I'm sorry. And so I had 6 and under. So when I saw this movie, I was going through a lot of shit. As per usual, it was a really fucked up time in my 20s, guys. And this movie, I remember seeing it on cable, and I'm trying to put it into words without me sounding completely trite. I was wooed by the romance of it. I was wooed by the fact that this girl who I saw a lot of myself in at that moment was able to pick herself up from her situation in a way. Like, she was placed in all these bad situations, not due to her own choices. And I felt that in my youth. of, well, I didn't do this to myself, but yet this shit keeps happening to me. And not realizing the rest of the movie, I just saw this pregnant girl succeeding and finding love. I missed, like, and not that I missed the rest of the story, I didn't care about it. It didn't resonate with me in any way, shape, or form. So at that point, definitely I enjoyed this movie, but I loved it on a very superficial level because I was looking at it from my definitely underdeveloped brain, immaturity, lack of life skills mentality.
I just think a lot of times we don't have the experience to draw from.
Gosh, yes. And I did relate to that because I was in a position where I was afraid of where things were going in my life, and I wasn't the one in charge of those changes. And it made me very uncomfortable. So watching her lose her shoes in the car because there's a hole in the, and because that's how shitty her life is at that moment. Or going into the Walmart, and yes, the whole 555 thing, that's her own superstitions, which you see that she does have a lot of superstitions. Going out and having him be gone when she comes out of the Walmart, that resonated with me because I had fears like that happening.
Sure.
I was very much dependent on the people around me, and put in a position to be dependent on those people. And so, yeah.
Well, let's look at that because the initial issue is I think a lot of people have, which is that fear of abandonment. Mm-hmm. Well, at the very start, let's talk about the shoes, okay? So my issue with the shoes, it always kind of resonated with me because every time when I saw this movie the first time, I was indignant. I was a little pissed off. Going to admit that. Because the person I was in love with was not in love with me. And she was with someone else. And I kept equating not the people, but like the general emotions of these people with that. Oh. The lack of care that he had when she lost her shoes resonated in a way with me as it did with your ex.
Oh, no. I was actually, when we were watching it, I was going to go, boy, he has a lot of his isms, his behaviors. Now, in his defense, he was not that guy in the movie.
No, not at all. And I'm not saying he was.
But his indifference in a lot of things was that guy.
Yeah, I'm not saying he was.
No, I know you weren't.
In any way that
explaining
guy.
It to our
because
listeners.
I loved him as well.
Oh, yeah.
But my issue is that I kept equating those moments with pieces.
Oh, yeah.
Of the people that I knew, and that was
you saw him when he was being utterly indifferent towards me and my pregnancy with my oldest, and so you got to see that and you can make that comparison, and I was seeing it from the perspective of Novalee being in it, because when we were watching it, you were like, I'm mad at him, but I'm mad at her for knowing he's like this, and I'm going, I did the same thing. I knew what my ex was about, and I kept hanging on because I kept thinking I could fix this.
Well, yeah.
Because you're young and you think you can fix it.
Sure, but and I wasn't.
My love will come.
My thing was I wasn't blaming her for that.
No.
I was angry because she ever felt she had to do that. Mm-hmm. It's the largest part of this entire movie that annoys the shit out of me. It is annoying. It's heartbreaking. It's anger inducing. Is the complete lack of autonomy any woman in this film feels they have.
Oh God, yes.
Because the minute they feel like they have autonomy, it gets ripped away from them.
The only one who I feel has any autonomy is Sister Husband.
Except it gets ripped away from her.
Oh yeah,
because the security of her home gets ripped away from her.
Oh yeah.
Because she was snarky. And she wasn't even snarky.
No.
She didn't want these people in her home. she told them no, and they kidnapped a child.
Well, and then later on, also, she's the one who came into the house and told Novalee about the tornado warning. She's the one who starts preparing everything. But then she takes a pot of soup and heads out the door. And she's like, well, where are you going? She's like, oh, I'll be back. Don't worry. Da, 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 da. Well, I mean, again, that's her autonomy of being able to do whatever the hell she wants to do. But because she didn't do what she was directed to do, she died.
Yeah, I mean, of course, that's that she's so giving that she'll kill herself to do it.
Yes, and that's the thing is she is one of my favorite characters in this movie, because honestly, if you don't love...
Well, it's Stockard Channing.
It's Stockard Channing,
I mean, come on.
And it's Stockard Channing, and she's got the hair from her hair going. Doesn't she have that same kind of hair in Practical Magic?
Yes, I think she just used the same hair.
I know.
Her hair.
I wasn't Practical Magic 90-something, like late 90s too?
So she just kind of kept the same hair.
Yeah. I mean, it suits her. It's a Stockard Channing look now. I mean...
So, yeah, the initial abandonment of that moment in the parking lot, it resonates differently now with me because my heart just dropped, and I knew it was coming.
Oh yeah, it's coming, but you're still like...
That's the entire setup for the movie. So everyone knows it's coming, but it's the sheer look of, and not terror and not fear that comes over her face, the sheer blankness of her face, as she is so resigned to her fate, is to just be there and not know how to react.
So... Again, let me go tell a story. When I was in California and very, very pregnant, the baby daddy, because we weren't married then, because I married him later, well after this all happened, he got arrested for drug possession and lied to me about it because it was like 1,001 reasons as to why he was arrested, not the actual reason why he was arrested. Found out many, 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 many years later the exact reason why he was arrested, but that's not the point of the story. The point of the story is I'm alone in California, and while I had you there, he was my anchor to home, to New Jersey, to that was my family link.
It's your connection to your home, yeah.
And I did not know if he was ever going to get out of jail. We had no money to get him out of jail. Hell, I had no control over the money, so I didn't even know how we were paying bills, let's put it this way. And it's a miracle that the police weren't called, because I just sat in the condo and wailed. And I have never screamed and cried like that in my life, not since. And that was the first time. And because I didn't know what to do. And then I shut down. Because I didn't know what to do. Like, I couldn't fathom where my life was going to go. I was pregnant. I had, obviously, the responsibility of a condo I couldn't pay because I didn't have a job. He was in jail. I have no access to our accounts, his accounts. There's a lot of fucked up about this whole situation. But again, I was 19, 20 years old, no clue about life. And I allowed a lot of controls to be taken from me with the promise of being taken care of.
And that's what she was doing.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, she left Tennessee. Yeah. I left New Jersey to go and live with him. Now, I wasn't pregnant then, but, so yes, how I relate to Novalee, and especially then, was what would I have done, if he had, and knowing, like, having him being put in jail and me sitting there not knowing what was the next step in my life. Do I go home? Am I going to be homeless? Am I going to lose my baby? Are they going to come and take, there's so many thoughts going through my head. Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Her sitting there blankly, and that is her processing. There's a resignation of, I should have known this was going to happen, but then there's also her processing of, fuck, fuck. There's no other thought going through her head but fuck, because you have to have, you.
Oh, absolutely.
You can't. And so, yes.
But what I think is interesting is in some ways, and I cannot speak to your view of this, but in some ways, the same thing that happened in a lot of ways with Sister Husband is that when Thelma sees her and starts talking to her, she already initiates that found family scenario.
Oh, yeah, because she's misnaming her because she's trying to get her to feel like she knows her.
Right. And she's just trying to comfort her in some way because she sees she's in distress.
Yes.
Well, it's kind of like how our friend met you and kind of brought you over.
I mean, in a way. I mean,
you weren't at that point distressed.
No, I mean, I had already had the 3.
But you were already in a found family of sorts.
Yes.
Very loosely, but you were there.
Yes. And for me, it was, sorry, y'all, and as much as I can't stand her now, I have a deep, deep history of this fandom of being in the Harry Potter fandom. And it was back in the day when we used those messaging boards as RPGs.
Yeah.
And I met a woman, and her and I hit it off as friends. And she had a house and a job and a place for me and my children. And she was so caring. I never asked her for anything, but she would send me gift boxes with all sorts of little tchotchkes and stuff in it and snacks for the kids. And she would send me money to pay for food for the week. I mean, like, I never asked, and she would just send it. And because my ex at that time was sending money to his parents to have them divvy it out to me, because apparently I was the person who was bad with money, even though I was never in charge of the money.
Right.
The one time I was in charge of the money, it was stolen out of my account by my ex. So there you go. She definitely was like one of the first catalysts of found family. So yes, Stalker Channing's character is definitely a lot like her. Taught me a skill because she had her own business.
Yeah. And it's related to oil fields.
Because there's a pump jack at one scene, and and we were living in the middle of the oil fields in West Texas. She helped me with a lot of my shyness, which a lot of people don't realize that I had crippling anxiety when I was younger, and it was had a lot to do with my shyness and my introvertedness. And she got me my very first day in Texas, brought me to the theater to watch her perform Romeo and Juliet, and then like the next couple days later had me up on stage auditioning for A Winter's Tale, with an actual, SAG actress.
Yeah.
And auditioning with up against her was I literally, you could see the paper in my hand shaking as I was reading the lines. But it got me on stage, and I don't regret it, because I loved my time of doing community theater, and it really did help me open up.
Well, so she's stuck in a Walmart.
Yes.
Okay. And this is just the first part.
Yes.
But it's a catalyst for a lot of things that happen later on. And, and Walmart figures prominently within it. Would it happen now? Hell no.
No.
But back then, I think things were a little bit more innocent as far as like for a little white girl who's pretty.
Oh, yeah.
Probably a lot more, avenues open for compassion.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. But I think that when she has her baby, when she has Americus, and she's in pain, she's, passed out, and then you have
Thorny.
Yeah, Thorny comes in and saves her. But he's not really saving her so much as he's just doing what a decent person would do.
Yeah, so she actually goes to the library and asks for books. And he's really, so when you meet Forney, he is, and I wrote anxious, stressed, and awkward. Now, my initial is I wanted to say autistic because that's my go-to, y'all. But he's not. As you see him going forward, I don't think that there's autism there. I think he's just stressed out with his life and the direction that it's also going in. And he's got responsibilities that at the moment you don't know. So he's very stressed. He's very terse. He's probably had a lot of people coming in there who are like, just, I need a book on, I need Kelly Blue book on blah, 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 And so I guess, again, not to knock it, but this is in the middle of nowhere. And I can't imagine he's dealing with a lot of higher educated individuals. And again, not knocking it, just statistically speaking. And he is a northerner. And, they tend to be, he's not even just a northerner. He's a New Englander. And y'all, us Yankees tend to hold ourselves a little higher. We think we're better than a lot of people. I'm not going to lie. And the New Englanders think that they're better than even the Mid-Atlantic people. So I'm just saying it like it is. And he comes off as that. He's coming off as, he's talking fast. He's talking terse. He's just like exasperated. She's asking about trees and he's going, I would have had a hard time understanding him. And she's like overwhelmed because he's being this way. Well,
like Forney's frustrated because he's trying to get other things done.
Yeah.
She wants to talk about a tree and he's trying to get her to read the things. Here's the books.
Yes.
And then she's having trouble with it. And he has very little patience right now. His patience is worn thin.
Yes.
So it comes off, and this is a recurring theme throughout the movie, is that women feel stupid. And he isn't thinking she's stupid. He just has little patience.
Yes.
But he thinks she's stupid.
Yes.
And he just wants her to put in the work instead of continually asking him.
Yes. And I get that completely. But coming from her point of view, it is definitely the fuck, man.
Oh yeah, no.
I just needed you to direct me in the direction, but wasn't asking for the information. I just needed the book.
She's inexperienced, and he is frustrated. Those are two combinations that are not great starting out. So at the very start of this romance, which I did air quotes, like you could see it on the podcast, they didn't start out well for them.
No. He doesn't follow her, but he sees her at the Walmart going into the back of the building. Like, I don't think he followed her, right? No, because why would he follow her? I think he just sees her.
It's a small town.
It is a small town. And she's going into the back of the Walmart and, he's watching.
Actually, I think he did follow her because he was wondering where she goes because she seems kind of homeless.
Yeah, that is true. And he, like I said, he sees her going into the back and he's watching and the Walmart's closing and she's not coming back out. And then, she goes into labor. She's trying to clean up the amniotic fluid off the floor because she had a tally book of all of her, everything she would use, she would mark it.
Well, that comes back later. See, she's an honest person.
Very honest.
And what her honesty comes off as innocence a lot of times, but really what it is she's an honest person who doesn't hide things behind guile.
Exactly. She is definitely not worldly, but definitely, you're saying honest. She's not wanting to be perceived as low. She doesn't want to be perceived. See, again, I resonate with Novalee. Like, young Michelle really resonated with Novalee. Not wanting people to think that she was using them in any way, shape, or form. These assistants that I always got was always from people who would, out of the blue, help me. And I always said that I was so grateful for the people who helped me along the way. And even today, if somebody decides to help me out of nowhere, I am always so grateful. And I always tell people how appreciative I am of them because I know what it's like to need. But I know that there's a I don't want to say pride, because I don't think I was ever too proud to ask for help. I was always uncomfortable asking for help.
Sure.
It wasn't about pride. It was just about
bothering them.
Exactly. I don't like to put people out. And I think that's a problem that you and I have sometimes.
Sure.
Is I'll say, okay, well, I can do it. I can do it. I can do it. And it's not because I don't think you're capable. And this is like with work too. It's just that I don't want to put... My TA currently is a saint. And now I have had great TAs, and Miss P, if you're listening, you know I love you. But this woman took a step back from teaching just to be a TA because she just wanted to play with the children. But I see her every day busting her behind, cleaning my classroom, mopping, sweeping. We don't have a janitor. She takes care of everything. And I am always like, tell me what I can do to help you. And then she'll come up to me and she'll be like, Miss Michelle, is there something I can do to help you? I'm like, you have so much on your plate. Take a breath, woman. I'm good. Take a breath. But yeah, it's that not wanting to overburden people when you know you can do it yourself. It's not about you don't think that they can handle it. It's just you don't want to bother them. So
Sure.
I get that.
So the birth gives way to some notoriety, a limited amount of notoriety,
Mm-hmm.
because she was, she gave
Baby in
birth
Walmart.
she gave birth in Walmart, and this is where Lexie Coop comes in because
She's the nurse,
the nurse,
at the
the
hospital.
attending,
Which, again, nurses make more money than they seem to think that they do. I mean, don't get me wrong, if you're a nurse and you deserve more money than you do make, but nurses make a pretty good amount of money compared to like a lot of other jobs. But this is before, I think, they required them to be degree holders.
right? It is,
And so she may not be making the money I'm thinking in my head that she should be making.
but also she has like 50 children.
50 children, yeah. I mean, and all named after candies
So
and desserts.
this is how she comes to know her.
Yes.
And again, it's a very slow build of this found family.
Yeah.
Everything in this movie is a slow build towards found family. I think it's less romantic. There's certainly romance in it,
Yes.
mostly towards the end. But the slow burn is about finding your family, finding where you fit in, and that family changing as it goes along because you lose people along the way.
You do. And we see that with her losing sister husband with the tornado. And I lost my version of sister husband to cancer. So I get that. There's that loss of the people who have helped you in your life. And then you have to try to adjust now because you relied on them. Because even though you didn't ask for the help, it was there. And now they're gone. And now you have to be an adult. Not that she wasn't being an adult. Not that I wasn't being an adult. But there's a different kind of adulting when you don't have another adult there to... That mother figure.
Sure, but this is the whole thing of... Okay, so from the way I saw it, and it's an outside perspective of those two situations, is you had someone you considered family.
Mm-hmm.
They brought you into a home, and this is both you and Novalee, and you lived there. That was your home. That was your home. And not only did you lose someone, but you lost your home.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Because I was kind of asked to move at that point.
She lost her home in the tornado. You lost your home in an emotional tornado.
Yes.
So there are things that are going to happen, and you have to figure out what to do next. Now, typically, Novalee was not proactive. She kind of sat there in a stunned kind of thing until someone stepped up.
Well, she was going to go to another town, and she was going to continue to work at the Walmart because the Walmart gave her a job. And they said she could have a job anywhere in the U.S., and they also gave her $500, which her biological mother promptly stole from her.
Yeah, but before that, like I say, her responses were usually to let things happen to her.
Yeah, because again, you get that
yeah, in
numbness.
this instance, it did not happen.
Yes.
Because she had options. The thing I think that sister husband Thelma had given to her, more than a home and more than companionship and help and love, she gave her, I think, the greatest gift which is a sense of agency.
Oh yeah, a sense of independence and how she can take care of herself. And I mean, she basically gave her her estate.
In keeping with the theme of Thelma's religion, she taught her how to fish.
Basically, yes, she did teach her how to fish. So Thelma says something early on when she first meets Novalee that I think is the greatest quote, and I'm misquoting it here, but basically she's like, she asks her about her religion, and she's like, "Do you read the Bible?" And Novalee goes, "Not as much as I should." And sister husband says, "That's good, because too many people read the Bible, and all it does is confuse them."
Right.
And I feel that on such a deep level. I feel that because they do. Too many people read the Bible, and all it does is confuse them, and then y'all don't know what you're doing. You just don't know what you're doing.
So I think that when she starts relying more on Lexie as a friend, she comes into it less, because Thelma was more like a mother.
Yes.
More like a mother figure.
And Lexie's a sister.
Lexie's a sister. Or an equal friend.
Mm-hmm.
And now there's more of an equity of relationship. Despite Thelma giving her agency, she still felt like she was there as a daughter, still there without, a lot of agency to expand beyond that.
Yes.
With Lexie, there's an equal footing, and now anything she takes forward is her own step, and Lexie is just there encouraging her, and she's encouraging Lexie as well. This goes both ways. Lexie relies on her as well, on Novalee.
Oh yeah, and I can also relate that to another friendship that I built shortly thereafter my brother passed away, and there was a sisterhood there. The only difference is I feel like once I did have to move, and this may have happened to her and Lexie if Novalee had moved away.
Right.
It fell apart. It stayed together as much as it possibly could, but our friendship did not last. And I'm not really sure what happened to the friendship per se, other than just drifting.
Right.
And just having nothing else in common anymore. And our lives just going in totally different directions. So that's the only thing I can think of with that one, but maybe that would have happened with Novalee and Lexie if Novalee actually did succeed in leaving, if she had not gotten the estate and all the money from a husband, she may have.
Keep in mind, she got all of that. She got the money from the insurance, she got the estate, which is the land.
Property, the land, yeah.
She could have sold all that and still moved. Mm-hmm. She chose to stay, and I think it's because she recognized that people here needed her as much as she needed them.
Yeah.
She didn't want to move to Walmart to do the Walmart thing.
No.
But she knew she had to do something. This allowed her the chance to do what she really wanted to do, which is stay.
And to be
so she was still using her agency.
And she wanted to focus on her photography, which is something that she was not able to give.
Something she could not do today.
No.
It's been, this was in 2000.
26 years.
Almost 26 years. We're at the end of 25. This is in November, because, for posterity, once you listen to this again.
Yes.
But it's one of those things where you just can't make a living unless you're very well connected.
Yes.
And this is one of those things where she was able to do it at a time in which maybe it was a little bit easier for photographers.
And again, she's in a small town in Oklahoma, and how many wedding photographers do they have?
Photographers, yeah.
So having somebody, I guess, local. Maybe
and they were still using film.
Yes.
And it wasn't digital.
And Moses helps her a lot because he loves film, and he helps her when she finds that old camera, and he's helping her develop. She uses his barn to develop film.
Right.
She takes a picture in the rubble of her daughter, Americus, climbing up the rubble
Which is sad as shit.
And the Buckeye tree.
It's not just the fact that she's climbing through the rubble of what was their home, but also you're seeing the definite, like, I don't know, the analogy of their loss from Thelma.
Oh, definitely. And Thelma gave her the Buckeye tree when she first met her.
Right.
And that was kind of her excuse to go and talk to Thelma, was the tree started to wilt because she's carrying it around in a coffee can. And so they end up planting it in her yard, and Thelma's like, well, you need to come by and take care of this because I'm not good at taking care of these things.
So why don't you just stay here?
Yeah. So, and so it kind of, it was a snowball effect, and definitely the sister husband is the catalyst for all of that. But she is able to build this world. And then again, she takes that picture with the Buckeye tree and her daughter and ends up winning a Kodak Award with that picture.
Sure.
And you're just seeing her development. I don't know. It's heartening, like in a good way. Like, I'm so happy for her to pull herself. So again, I'm watching this movie going, well, maybe there's hope. Maybe there is hope. Maybe I will get out of the hole that I've inadvertently dug for myself. Because again, I didn't make the choices in my life to get me where I was, but I felt like they were still my faults. So I had to figure out how to get out of them.
But a lot of the things that happen in this movie, they seem like their chance. They seem like their fate or kismet. But what it actually is, I believe, is that as she's encountering these things, she recognizes them for the chance that they are.
Oh, yeah.
That is a good intuition. It's reflected in the fact that she realizes how badly she's messed up, and she makes that effort with
Forney, yeah.
So now, throughout this movie, Willie Jack keeps showing up in these vignettes, and these small, like, parts, it just flashes to him to let you know where he's at in the film.
All I wrote was, Willie Jack gets what he deserves. He's a piece of shit.
Willie Jack goes through a lot of this film as he is jailed for being with a minor, not actually doing anything.
He didn't know she was 14, but so what? Still a disgusting pig.
But for the stolen items that were in the car that she had brought.
Yeah, she stole.
That he was culpable for. And this is a hitchhiker, or someone he gave a ride to.
Side of the road because her car had broken down. Because
the 14-year-old. And so he's in jail. He's writing a song, and he gets beaten up several times. He gets out of jail. This is throughout the movie.
Yep.
It's not all at once. You get this in little bits.
Yep.
And he starts trying to find someone in Las Vegas, right?
No, Nashville, because he was heading to Vegas.
But he got to Nashville.
Oh, he was heading to California with Novalee.
Right.
And then with the 14-year-old, he was heading to Vegas. And then he ends up settling in Nashville.
Which is nowhere, I mean, it's so close to where he started.
Yeah. And he meets
up Joan Cusack.
Yep, Ruth Myers, who is what do they call Leslie Knope's mom in Parks and Rec?
Stone Cold Bitch.
She's the iron, and they always bleep it out.
Iron.
Something.
I don't know, something.
Because they bleep it out, but I'm pretty sure that's also Ruth Myers.
Just
fucking Dawn.
No taking shit from anybody agent.
Yeah, because he sings this song. She's nonplussed about the whole entire thing, and then looks at him, and she's like, "You're gonna cost me $1,000 to get you cleaned up, and $200 for headshots, and da 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 da." So she sees his potential, but she also knows he's gonna cost her money to get there. The thing that kills me is he has been given opportunities because she told him it was going to take a bit. He has to be screwing up somewhere.
No, and this is what I got from it this time.
Uh-huh.
The first time around, what I got from his story at this point is that he reached too high, too fast.
Yeah.
But what I got this time was a different perspective in life, I guess, or maybe it's just more maturity or something. But looking at it now, he'd already risen as high as he was going to get.
That
He
is
just
true.
wasn't that good. And he was getting as high as he was possibly going to get.
Mm-hmm.
And she was helping him maintain until he decided to reach further than that
Yep.
with people who already knew that he wasn't that good.
Yeah. And also,
He was
don't
very full of himself the whole time.
Don't try to switch managers when all the managers are friends.
Well, don't try to switch managers when you're not that great.
No.
And that's a note that I wrote down is at the start of this. It takes a supremely shitty person to ditch someone who's pregnant, first of all.
Oh, yes.
Who you claim to like or love, and who you took with you, and now you're responsible for on this journey at the
Yes.
start. But also that he is extremely full of himself. He litters. He doesn't care about her shoes.
Nope.
He's only concerned about his own person. And he doesn't care what's going to happen because he thinks he's so good that no one will ever hold him accountable for anything.
I mean, when they go to the Walmart and they stop and she's like, oh, Walmart, and then I can pee. And she's already lost the shoes and she's like, can I have some money? And he's like, they charge you to pay? And she's like, for some house slippers because I need to have something on my feet. And he's like, get you a pair of green polka dotted ones so everyone will notice you. Because he's just that full of himself that he thinks other people are that full of themselves.
Or that he thinks that someone's going to take notice of her because she's wearing these house slippers. It's ridiculous.
I mean...
It's just, it's all about him.
Oh, definitely.
And his thing. And that's why he had no trouble leaving. But that gets him again with Joan Cusack's character, which is... I can't remember her name.
Ruth Myers.
Ruth Myers. I should know that because it's a lot like Ruth Chris.
I was thinking of the very similar to the business nearby us.
Oh, yeah, true.
That's no longer called that, but yes.
So, but yeah, he is so full of himself that he thinks he's actually that good, and he thinks he hasn't been given a fair chance. Whereas she's given him actually a career and has actually gone out of her way to keep him in this career that he's only mediocre at.
Yep.
And he throws it all away by doing this.
Oh, yeah, and she has no fucks to give but cutting him off.
Yeah, because he's not endearing.
Nope.
He does not... He's not someone anyone's going to put themselves out for. He is for himself, and that's the people you attract when you're that person.
Yes.
Although I like Joan Cusack.
Well, yeah, Joan Cusack. Who is looking fine in this movie.
She looks fine in every movie.
I love her so much.
I just love her. She is the handler in Grosse Point Blank. Mm-hmm. That visualize that and just make that the opposite. So just every opposite emotion, that's what she's showing in this one.
Yeah.
Just pissed off and wanting to kill everybody. Yeah.
Yeah. The thing I really had a shitty early 20s. When she asks him for money, I know she's 17, but she's on her own as an adult.
He took responsibility for her.
And I know how that feels, having to turn and ask for money for simple things. And it's so...
Yeah.
It's like now I'm like, God, did I spend too much? Where before I had to ask just so I could buy diapers.
It's me going, why do you keep asking to spend something?
Because it's a habit and it's an old habit. But again, when you are only given an allotment of money every week to buy food and diapers just for the baby.
Yeah.
Not even for yourself and your needs. It's just for the baby. And that's an imposition. Not knowing that at the time that person was making, in 1994, $50,000 a year. And we're living with the parents. And I'm barely seeing a $50 a week to buy diapers and food. Not knowing that all of it was going up his nose.
Yeah. Wherever he puts it.
Yeah, well, he wasn't injecting then.
Oh, no, I was thinking it was anally.
Oh, yeah, it was hard to snort with your asshole.
I think you have to go upside down and pour it in.
Well, I don't think he had that type of skill.
Too forward thinking because, nowadays I think that's how they drink. So, or at least in the early 2000s.
Oh yeah, the what was it? They were doing tampons soaked in
vodka. Yeah, stuff like that.
Okay, I ain't putting alcohol in no.
So, we find that she is evolving, and that is something I do like. The thing I love about this film, and it's weird to say about a movie that essentially I equate to a made-for-TV movie, is that she grows as a person, but she does not lose her guilelessness, her innocence.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe not innocence is the right thing, but she doesn't use that against anyone. She doesn't look for an angle on anyone. So
she once again said something that in a different way, but how I also tend to think. I tend to tell my students and anybody who needs to hear this, our emotions are valid. Our feelings are who we are. And it's okay to be angry. It's okay to be sad. It's how we treat the world with those feelings. How we present those feelings to the world. Be pissed. Be angry. You don't need to flip a table unless it's a government table. Then you flip that shit. But
unless the table flipping is warranted.
Exactly. But I mean, in everyday life, you don't need to go around and like with my students, I explain to them, if Miss Michelle is mad at home, I'm not going to come in and be mad at you guys or at my TA or get just angry and stomp around. And I don't hit people and I don't smack people because, again, little kids. But that's, your feelings are valid. It's what we do with those feelings, okay? She says a very similar thing. She said, everybody has bad and everybody has good. And she's saying this to Lexie when Lexie has defended her 2 babies from being sexually abused and gets her ass handed to her by this piece of shit that she let into her home because she didn't know.
Well, he let himself into her home.
That day. That day. But she thought she had a good relationship with this person because as a parent, you don't always know. And honestly, this is another thing I'm going to reflect on from my perspective, that I always took Lexie as a tale of, like a precautionary tale. But she says...
A cautionary tale?
That was it. So she says to Lexie that everybody has bad in them, but everybody has good in them. And you have to focus on the good and let that out more. It's just basically...
Oh, I'm a table flipper.
I can be a table flipper too. And I don't blame Lexie. He would have been lucky if I flipped a table on his ass and didn't just stab him in the back of the head. Because, motherfucker, you don't touch my babies.
It's just my... In fight or flight, I go to fight. That is my normal...
I'm a flighter.
Yeah,
I'm a
it's
runner.
my normal response.
I am a runner, but...
Do I want to be different? Sure. I would love to be like Novalee, in which I can take things as they come and still be nice to people. I feel envious of the people that are that way.
Oh, I'm pretty sure Novalee's got the same amount of ulcers as I have.
Yeah, I just wish I would be happy to have those ulcers if I could figure out how to do something like that. But I just don't, my life did not bring me to that point. Mm-hmm. And the way I adapted, I'm a table flipper. I fight first and then I figure out things afterwards. And it's a response that I think when
we both had pretty crappy childhoods when it comes to how we respond to confrontation and how confrontation was thrust upon us. But you found your voice and that's why you're a table flipper. I found that my voice... I'm not
using my voice, unfortunately.
Because the few times I had found my voice made shit worse, so I tend to not until it's a better position and then I can speak my mind. And that's just how I've learned how to adapt. But what Lexie went through with that piece of shit is why when my ex and I separated, I did not date anybody. I was single for years raising them for a reason. I wasn't letting anybody... First thing, I love my mother. regardless of our personal issues. My mom dated a lot of guys when I was growing up, and I remember that. And nothing against her. She was young, you know,
Sure.
and she had me at 20. She had my other sister at 26. We were pretty much, you know, it for many years, and she was trying to do her best to raise us. I just didn't want my kids to see that. I didn't want them to have to live that life. And so even if we had to live in a car, I was not going to rely on another man to
Sure.
come into their lives. You know, yeah, could have been a woman as well, but nobody was coming into my children's lives that was going to be possible parent material and then fuck them up.
Yeah, well,
In any way, shape, or form. I'm not even talking about like in an abusive way. Just like, I didn't want them to get attached to somebody, and then then we have issues, and then they're like, but I really, what happened to this person? Their dad was already MIA at that point. So,
yeah,
I couldn't do that to them. I couldn't do that to them.
It's vulnerable for them.
Yeah, so and so seeing Lexie experience this just kind of, for me, validated that choice.
And she has that same issue as like trusting the wrong people,
Mm-hmm.
because she sees Forney as a friend,
Mm-hmm.
and that's fine. That is great. But it does evolve over time, and she
Yeah.
sees that, but she's still reticent to say anything or do anything about it. So she just keeps letting it be at the level that it is, despite knowing he wants more.
Yeah.
She still doesn't want to change it because she's got trust issues.
She's got trust issues, and she has, whether you
Someone
realize...
left her at a fucking Walmart. That's a trust issue.
Yeah. And also, I think that while she gets very defensive when it comes to him thinking she's stupid, she also has insecurity in her own abilities. Once again, I can relate. And she doesn't consider herself to be as smart as she actually is. And really, intelligence is not even the important part here. She doesn't think she's good enough for Forney.
Well, Lexie says so.
Yeah.
She goes, you're not afraid that he's too good for you. You just don't think you're good enough for him.
Yeah, because she sees him as this...
And there's a difference to be had there.
Oh, yeah. And she does not see herself on the same level as he is. And even though he doesn't see that problem, she does. And she's always going to think in her mind that she's holding him back. Which is why she didn't say I love you back when he said I love you to her. But she didn't want to hold him back. She knew that when his sister passed away, who he had been her caretaker, that this was his opportunity to go and have the life that he was leading before his sister needed him.
Well, she wanted him to be the history teacher he wanted to be.
Oh, yeah. And she wanted to give him that opportunity to be free. So she lies and she tells him that she never loved him.
Well, she just says, no, I don't love you. She doesn't say no.
Oh, yeah, I never like that. Yeah, she says, no, I don't love you. And that, it's not.
Because he has point blank, and she sees her chance to keep him on track.
Yeah. And again, she's a good person. And to go back to the IMBD, when you read that about the community, and we kind of talked about this when we were watching it a little bit, Novalee creates a community around her. And and it clicks. It's like it, but it clicks. When Lexie needs a place to store her stuff, and Novalee goes to Moses and says, can Lexie store her stuff in your barn? And he's like, why? And she's like, she has to move out, blah, 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 blah. And you're like, wait a minute. Lexie and Moses now know each other because of Novalee.
Right.
And so how many other people that are off screen that you don't know about in this town? Because when she's getting her house built, it's not just construction workers.
No, these are all her friends.
There's all her friends out there. You see.
Friends and family, because Mr. Husband.
Oh, yeah, Mr. something. I can't
remember his name.
S.
He's a
Sprocket. Something like a Sprocket, something like that.
Yeah, but he's a very sweet man. The whole time he's supportive of everybody. Sweet. And he's always smiling, and he always has something very nice to say. And he
loved Sister Husband.
Right.
And when she's like, you should be getting, Novalee's saying to him, are you sure you should be getting this house and you should have gotten the land? And he goes, no, I got what I wanted. The table that they would pray over and
have sex on.
For their fornicating on that table.
So he, this is, you're right. It again is an affirmation of that found family.
Oh God, yeah.
And it's about, it takes a community, and she definitely has her community helping her.
Oh, definitely.
And not just helping her because she needs the help, but helping her because they want to be a part of it. And she is a part of their lives as well. She goes to Lexie. She forwards what Thelma did for her with Lexie. She brings her into her home, the newly built home that she has. And all the children are there, and it's not a question. You're just here.
Oh, yeah.
And that's how it's going to be. And you're always going to have a home as long as I have a home.
I think, again, I relate to Lexie Novalee in so many ways. So you had said how people, they were doing stuff for her, not because she was a cute little pregnant girl, but because she was just a very sweet and kind person. When my ex was in jail and I realized I had to go back home, I was very pregnant, so I was afraid to fly. And so I took a train. And that train took 3 days. On that train, first day, the woman who I was sitting next to, because I didn't have a club car, she asked the porters to find me some empty seats so I could take up a row and sleep on that row. Later on, I discovered the lounge, and I ended up sleeping in the lounge most of the time. That same woman she was going from LA to Detroit to help take care of her sick mother. She had been doing local news in LA and was leaving that to go to Detroit. When we were in Colorado, her and another woman that I had met, who was a roadie on break.
Okay.
She was on a break, and she had just gotten off of, I want to say, the Steel Wheels tour.
That makes sense. Okay.
And I think that was where she was coming off of. And she was on vacation, traveling on the train. And they both, the first night they bought me food in the club car, or in the little club car. And then the second night we were in Colorado, they went in and they got Mexican food and brought me back Mexican food. I never asked for any of this. I would go downstairs. I made a backpack full of peanut butter sandwiches, and I had cheese crackers. And I was living on that, but I had a little bit of money, and I would go down to the Porters in the morning and get an apple, a yogurt, and some milk, because again, very pregnant. And they would, as they're pushing the food over to me, tell me my money was no good there.
Yeah.
So I didn't ask for the help, but the people, so it's like those are the moments in my life that I'm like, holy shit,
Yeah, no, I mean, there's the kindness of people will always catch you by surprise. Because, I mean, we live in a world that isn't really kind. So when you get those people, when you find those people, it's fairly important to always remember them. But yeah, I think, okay, so one of the things that happens throughout the movie is the number 5.
Yeah, I literally am looking at that in my notes.
There's one of the things that she explains at the very start. She got hurt. She had 55 stitches.
Her mother left on her 5th birthday.
Sure.
And I mean, that could be, and that's
traumatizing.
And that gets me too later on with her mom. And she's like, so are you still with blah, blah, blah? And she's like, who? And she's like, the guy you left me for when I was 5. And she's like, oh, I haven't thought about that in years. What made you think of that? Well, because you left her when she was 5, and that's the last memory she has of you, you bitch. I love Sally Fields, but
oh, yeah, no, I hated her so much in that.
She did look great. Because, I mean, Grandma with that flat stomach, I'm sorry, I'm a bit jelly.
But yeah, the number 5 is like a superstition for her, for good reason. Because every time 5s pop up, in fact, when she goes into Walmart to buy the shoes, they're $5.55.
And that's when she freaks out because she knows something.
She runs right out. She has superstition, but she has very good intuition.
Well, yeah, because the same thing with Americus when she's 5 months old. Forney goes, well, hey, it's she's 5 months old exactly today. And she goes, what? And that's when she runs back to the house immediately. And it turns out that Americus had been kidnapped by the couple who had been sending her letters since she was born, telling her that the baby was an abomination, that being born out of wedlock. So, yeah, she's been... The fives kind of... which, again, I have almost the opposite on that one. Because first thing, she'd hate our home address.
Yeah, very much.
Because it's got a lot of them. But also... Every home I have lived in that was a significant home has had double numbers in it. Now, usually those numbers are ones, but I have lived in 1477. I've lived in 1911. I've lived in, I can't remember what we had in South Carolina, but there were double numbers in there. And so, and even now we have multiple numbers. It's like, yeah, that for me means I'm where I'm supposed to be. But for her...
It was a warning.
But I see the whole 5 thing being an issue for her, where for me, the double number means, it doesn't matter what the number is, but the double number means a good thing.
Right. But, I think the counterpoint to her 5 issue, the stition, not a superstition.
Just a little stitious.
Just a little stitious. Is that 5 that recurs... doesn't stop her from doing things. It doesn't stop her from progressing.
No, though I do think it's funny that when she thinks she's pregnant because she sleeps with the mechanic.
Oh, yeah.
And Lexie tells her, she goes, well, an old gypsy woman told me that if you jump backwards 9 times before the sunrise, you won't be pregnant. She goes, I jumped back so far I had to take a bus back and I had twins.
Exactly. But
and then you see her out there jumping backwards in her front yard, and it's so funny because she's only a little stitious.
She knocked it right out.
Yep. Well, see, I am not a little stitious. I am superstitious, but that's from many generations of superstitious people. My grandfather was very superstitious, and a lot of his beliefs, and some of them are just common sense. Like, you don't put shoes on a table.
Yeah.
For him, it's bad luck. It's really just nasty.
Nasty, yeah. So one of the things about this film, as you're watching this, and we're coming up to like the ending of where it blooms into romance pretty quickly. I think even though there's a slow burn, there's suddenly mutual love.
Well, she comes home and he's, after winning the award, and she sees Forney on the couch holding Americus, and they're both asleep. And she goes to take a picture. And at first I think it's a picture of, oh, how cute is that? And then she's like, this man really loves my child. And I don't care who you are. That means a lot. That fucking means a lot. When somebody cares for your children as much as you do, that hits in such a different way. And it will make you look at somebody in a different light.
Sure.
When somebody that you didn't look at that way before, that'll make you change a little bit. So, I mean, I totally appreciate that.
But at the time of this movie, Natalie Portman was only 18.
She was?
Yes. So...
She's an old soul.
But she's so well informed.
She really is.
By this movie is, I think, when the movie starts, the character is 17.
Yes.
Novalee is 17. So we're talking about someone who's actually playing her age.
She is. But I didn't realize that. And I really do. Now I'm looking at it going, Natalie Portman is an old soul because she has such expression in her face. Even though, okay, people a lot of times will say that she does not have expression, that she has the Kristen Stewart countenance of no expression.
I don't think that's true.
I don't think that's true.
You can see...
There's a lot going on. And even Kristen Stewart, I'm not going to... Yeah, I bagged on her too back in the day, but she also has a lot more in her. We will not judge her on Bella Swan because
we're not going to do that.
No.
That was bad for everyone.
That was horrifying for everybody. So, and though we should do Twilight just for S's and G's, because we should do bad movies.
Yeah. Okay, we should.
I will rank on that one.
We cannot avoid bad movies, which is why we've done some of the movies.
Oh, the only one I have to say I will not do, because I cannot do it with any good conscience, is I will not do 50 Shades of Grey. I cannot do that movie.
I don't think that's one I want to do.
I'm sorry,
I've never
y'all.
seen it because
It's not going to
I have
happen.
no need to.
I know too much about that community to give that movie any type of notoriety.
Also, it's icky.
It's icky.
It's icky in the fact that it is not
it's
about
abusive.
mutual sex.
It's not. It's about abuse.
It's bad.
So we're not going to do that movie. So regardless.
Because this is not the skanky cozy.
The skanky quilt.
The skanky quilt.
The quilt can stand up on its own. So...
I mean, I have no problem doing 9.5 weeks. I'm just not going to do... I mean, it has issues too. But,
no, a lot of
But I'm not going to do that.
No, I can't. I have some standards, and that is my standard. I don't have many standards, y'all, but that is one of them. So yeah, her countenance is very... She's stoic, but also you could see, but she's not stoic. She has emotion, and they are just flowing on her face. You just don't get like big emotion. It's very subtle. Like when she is left at the Walmart and that fuck, you know, it's what's going on in her head. Or when she's talking to Lexie, you could see there's an underlying hurt. Like she feels so bad. Her friend was abused. Her friend's children were abused, and you could see that she would do anything to take that away from her. And she says nothing, and you could see that.
Well, it's because she's not using her mouth. Mm-hmm. She's not using her mouth or her brow. She's using her eyes. You really have to pay attention to that. It's subtle, but you can see every emotion as it hits.
But coming from an 18-year-old, that is even more. That's why I'm saying she's an old soul. That girl knows shit. She has an inner strength, an inner emotional flow, I guess. I don't know. There's just something about Natalie Portman that now she's one of my favorite people, and I didn't even realize it.
So, you know, that naivety, the vulnerability of the whole thing throughout this movie, it's well informed by her own age. But then we have that romance that buds. It's a slow burn throughout the film, very slow in the middle. But towards the end, it starts accelerating because... Here's another thing. She has spent a lot of time building her life. Mm-hmm. Well, what are you building your life for? You build your life for you and your child. Yep. But now there are other things to think about. What about your own happiness rather than just working towards... Sometimes you're running and you forget what you're running from.
Uh-huh. I know that one.
And this is one of those instances where she has worked so hard to get to where she is. Mm-hmm. Why is she working so hard?
Exactly.
And you have to have something for yourself. And Forney adores her. Mm-hmm. And he makes no bones about it, but he also doesn't pressure her.
He does not. And so in this situation, I see like Forney is a lot like you were in my life, where I didn't know how to deal, but I wasn't ready to commit to anything. And you were always that person there, that strength behind me. Like I knew you were there, but I needed the time to get my shit together before I could commit to having any type of a relationship.
I mean, as much as I hate losing the time, mm-hmm. I hate losing any time. I hate that in California
You don't like time at all.
I don't like linear time. Mm-hmm. No, but I hate losing the moments.
Yeah.
I wish I'd had them in California on.
Yeah.
But the thing I appreciate is that when we were together, it's because you had already found yourself. You'd already started defining yourself. Instead of this 17-year-old
who knew nothing,
19-year-old
that glomped onto everybody else's personality.
That was. And that's what we all do. Mm-hmm. We all define ourselves in some way by, like having this, amalgamation of all our friends' personalities or someone we like or whatever. But you found your own path. Mm-hmm. So that when we were together, it was as two adults, two people who had already seen pretty bad things.
Oh, yeah. And then had to heal together.
Sure. And now we're not, two people that are just a giant ball of just this one thing. Mm-hmm. We're two individual adults who are here together living a life.
Yeah.
And I think that is a different thing than just being, it's not a heart, like the heavy romantic thing where you like knock things off the wall. Like, this movie is not about that.
No.
It is about honest and real love.
Mm-hmm.
And something deeper than just this sexual burn that really leads nowhere in the end. And I really like the fact that at the end of this, it's not about them getting together so much as acknowledging.
Yeah, because again, they had that opportunity after his sister's funeral, but it did not come to fruition. And that's really where most movies would have ended. It would have been like, oh, they're together now and it's over, they lived happily ever after.
Or she would have raced there to like, to say, I love you. And
before he left.
Yeah, before he left, and then stop him from leaving.
Yeah, and that's not what happened. And that's, she raced to him to tell him, I don't love you, basically. Go on. Go on, get y'all. What is it?
She white-fanged him.
She white-fanged him.
Which it worked. He went back to university. He was getting, working towards his degree again.
Oh, yeah.
And I like the fact that he is not just, I'm coming back with you.
No.
He's still going to continue it, but now they are together.
Yeah.
And it's a much sweeter love, I think.
Because he's getting to have the life he deserved, and she's getting the life she deserved, and they will have a life together. They just need to continue. You know that as if the story was to continue, that he's going to get his degree, he's going to come back, he's going to find a teaching job.
Or he may take up the library again.
Or the library again. You don't know. And he'll, and she's going to be her photographer. They're going to live in their little house. And you know that there's going to be a happily ever after. There may even be another baby.
But the nicest thing about all of that, is that, she's not just declaring her love for him there. She's declaring that she is finally this person that believes she is worth something.
Yeah.
That is a big step for her, because she's always felt stupid or felt like the white trash or felt like something that was inferior to everyone around her.
Oh, yeah.
And she has built herself up to where when she accepts him into her life as love, it's done with the full intent and will of a person who is seeing the full picture.
Yeah. And Lexie getting married to the exterminator, again, I can relate to this, not from a personal point of view, but from a different perspective. Again, I love my stepdad. And again, regardless of our current issues, I do care for them a lot. And I remember when I was 14 when him and my mom started dating. Well, I was around 14. And they got married when I was 18. I was 18, 17, 18. And so my uncle said to my stepdad, and I remember this, that he always gave him credit because he could not do what he was doing, meaning he could not take on the responsibility of another man's child. Now, I did not know that that was an issue for men. Because again, when you have a mom who had boyfriends, you just assume that men were okay with taking on the responsibility of other men's children.
But they weren't.
They
were just there in your life and gone.
Yeah, and the fact that my stepdad never had a problem with that. He didn't even know if he was ever going to have children of his own. He took on the responsibility of my sister and I. And again, my sister's 7 years younger than me. He took on the responsibility of us not knowing whether or not he was going to have a child. Now, my baby sister came into the picture a few years after they got married, and is 2 months younger than my oldest, because that's not weird. And that means we need to do Father of the Bride 2 at some point. And, so we'll have to definitely do Father of the Bride 2, because again, that was a movie that my mom and I related to at that time. But yeah, I didn't know that. And look at Forney, he's doing that. He's taking on, and Lexie's exterminator.
Well, he's taking on responsibility without even being asked.
And
without an expectation of more.
And then you hear the story of his children, because she says, well, he has his own children. Turns out the only one that is actually his biological child is the boy. The little girl came with his first relationship. The mother did not want to deal with her, but realized when he wanted to take care of her that she dug in her heels for custody, and then traded his cherry car. It was like a Mustang or some shit.
Right.
Traded it for a child that makes me angry. I'm sorry, but moms who abandon their children piss me off more so than dads.
A lot of this in that film.
A lot of this. And here's the thing. And again, I'm going to piss off a lot of people, but this is our society. Men are raised to believe that it's okay to walk away from their families, because a lot of y'all do. Okay, I'm not saying every one of you do, but a lot of you do, because I am a child of divorce. My dad disappeared. My ex disappeared. It happens, okay? So people have and not only did my ex walk away from his family, went to college while I am struggling my ass to take care of these kids on a shit education at the time, was able to just go off and get a degree in art, Again, my anger for him is a lot different than my caring for him. I mean, there's a backstory. Regardless, there's a lot. But regardless, that is something that is a fact in this country, which is why we have a problem with child support. Why do men get mad about paying child support? They think that women are just are asking for money because they're being grubs. But no, you pay for your fucking child. But neither here nor there. Mothers who walk away from their children and abandon their children, there's a special place in hell for you people. I'm sorry. You gave birth to that child. Those people and the parents who turn on their child because they're gay or transsexual, there's a fucking special place in hell. And I'm not even a Christian, but I'm pretty sure there's a place in hell for you motherfuckers. You don't do that to your child. You gave birth to that child. You raised that child. You do not treat your child like that. I'm done.
Okay, rant.
I'm sorry, but that makes me so angry when people abandon their children.
Of course, and it's an
I have a child in my class right now who's in foster care, and I don't know the whole story. I just know that this baby has multiple people who pick her up, different families at different points, and it makes me so sad for her and her sibling. I can't even tell you how much it makes me sad, and she's such a sweet baby. So yeah.
So we'll find a lot of things in this film that you will probably equate with in some way or resonate with you.
Well, apparently, Billy Letts, when she wrote this as a book before Oprah, because she was just a college professor, and Oprah read this book.
Just a college professor.
Just a college professor.
Just worked her ass off.
Sorry, I didn't mean that. She was a college professor. As an educator, I appreciate that. I would love to teach college, but I don't want my doctorate. So, as a college professor, she wrote this and a few other books. And Oprah read this one and made a big deal about it. It was one of her, when she first started promoting books. So when Billy Letts wrote this book, I did not realize that it was going to be almost a roadmap for me to relate to. Not necessarily of my life, but I did not know. And I've never read the book.
There are a lot of similarities.
A lot of similarities. While I do not think that my life should be turned into a movie, sometimes I see shit like this and I'm going, God, would this be good entertainment for some people? Because, messed up.
You can take the girl out of Tennessee.
I wasn't there, though. I didn't live. I was actually one of the few states I've never lived in.
I know.
Though anymore with my accent, it's all over the place, so who the heck knows?
Yeah, the accents were horrible in this. I hated every minute of it.
Apparently, again, mine is becoming very bad lately. I've noticed. Other people have noticed as well.
Assimilating in many ways.
Well, let's put it this way: people are
Southern aesthetic.
They're not calling me out on my jersey that often as they used to, unless I say certain words. So, I'm assuming we all know how I feel about this movie now. I don't need to explain it anymore.
But your overall feelings for this movie, for the movie itself.
It still resonates. Maybe I'm more outraged by things that I wasn't outraged by before, because again, I was looking at it from my youth perspective. as I got older, I saw the other parts of it and appreciated, I think, the relationship with her and Forney. I think back then I was more mad that they didn't hook up sooner. Because again, younger. But I appreciate that slow burn. But also kind of angry at Lexie a bit for doing exactly what I did not want to do, which was having that revolving door to a certain degree. So yeah,
we're not perfect people.
We're not,
you know?
and I like imperfect characters in shows and in movies. I like a character that I can delve into their psyche because it makes me feel like I'm not crazy for the weird and odd and wrong and good ways that I see the world. You know, it justifies to me or validates my personal weird emotions.
Sure.
Perfection is overrated. And what does it even mean?
Well, I think without the imperfections, there's nothing to grab onto.
Yeah. And again, if everybody was the same and perfect, then the world would be freaking boring.
And also, I don't think anyone could relate to you.
Nope. I think that's when we have movies that have no depth or no, like when the characters are portrayed as very, very mildly flawed, it makes it that much harder for us to talk about them.
Sure it does. Absolutely. I think flawed characters give us things to relate to.
Oh, yeah.
I think they provide us those things to maybe also rail against.
Mm-hmm.
We like an imperfect villain. We like an imperfect hero.
Yeah. I like a villain that I can like, you know?
Sometimes.
Because I mean, there's something that you can relate to. But I also like a villain that you can just despise, but still find those little quirks about them.
I like villains that if we're going to have a multi-arc situation, they grow less villainous over time.
Yeah.
Maybe see them as people less than the archetype.
Again, back to the bitch who shall never be named on our podcast. The one thing I did appreciate about that series of books was when she said, everybody is redeemable except the one person. And I appreciate that because everybody should be able to be redeemed. You
would think, though, I noticed that she still made some of them irredeemable.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah.
My heart will still go for him. I mean, I loves him regardless of his childish behavior.
So.
Castellini.
Yeah, the Castellini test.
Think it's going to pass?
I mean.
I think so.
I don't know how this cannot pass.
I think, and I could be wrong, but I think that this is Tremors level.
I don't know that it's Tremors level, but I definitely think it will pass. So let's find out. Okay. There have to be at least 2 named women characters with at least 5 lines of dialogue.
That is like most of the cast.
Novalee, Lexie, Thelma, Ruth. I mean, I think we can.
Even Ma Lil has, 5 lines.
Right. So, and yeah, that's just going to happen. So that passes. Those characters must have a conversation, not necessarily with the other woman, either not about their partner or with their partner, future or current, and not about their relationship.
First conversation that sister husband has with Novalee, not about a relationship.
I mean, almost none of the things they talk about are about a relationship.
No, except for Lexie and Novalee talk about relationships, but honestly, that's a natural.
But they're not talking about a relationship. They're talking about relationships in general.
Yeah, and they're talking, and when they do talk about her relationship with Forney, it's well into the movie. They've had other conversations.
Sure.
And yeah, and they do talk about Lexie's relationships. But again, that's a sister best friend relationship right there. And she has other women that she speaks to about other things.
Yeah, and you're fighting very hard for something that already passed.
I know. Sorry. My bad.
No,
I like to justify my
just
answers.
Making a joke. So at least one woman has to be integral to the plot, meaning that if she were written out of the film, it couldn't reach the same ending. And I know what you're going to say, but I'm going to have to say probably not. So if you were to cut out Novalee, you would still have Pickens, he would still be leading this movie. He's led the movie the entire way.
I was going to say sister, husband.
And this is about a man who finds redemption after losing his legs on a railroad track. So
yeah, we didn't even get to that
that's
point.
this whole movie. That's the entire movie. And nothing else matters.
Nothing else matters. But no.
It's obviously, yes, you cannot have a movie without Novalee.
Novalee. Even sister, husband, because she is the catalyst for Novalee finding a home in that town.
But this is reminiscent. This entire movie is reminiscent of.
If you don't have Ruth, dipshit for brains isn't going to actually start his career the way he should. The way he did.
I mean, he may not be the mess he was at the end.
Maybe, but he probably would have just gone dive bar to dive bar. He probably would have died young.
Oh yeah. So no, I think it definitely passes. But this movie is one of those things that is really. It is about the journey, and I know that's a thing that gets said a lot, but it is about the journey because these people grow throughout the film.
Oh, and you're seeing the jumps in time. Even the subtle jump of her when her pregnancy in the beginning, she's carrying a little tiny bump, and then when she's at the Walmart later on and it's close to her delivery, they've made her bump bigger. And
it's over a month. Yeah,
and that is something that they don't always do in movies, guys.
So yeah, I think it just melded together really well. I forget how good the movie is.
I forgot too,
because it is positioned so much like a made-for-TV movie that it just doesn't feel like a cinematic movie. But then you see how well, especially Forney's character is so underplayed very well and deservedly so.
Yes.
If he's centered in any way, it would take away from the women that are there.
And it is a very female-centric movie, and it's a nice change, especially in 2000.
Explain to me what you mean by you think this is on par or at a level of Tremors.
Okay, so while we have a very female-forward cast, which, again, Tremors does not, but has very strong female characters in it.
It has several, yes.
Okay. There is a diversity that is subtle for Oklahoma.
Sure.
There is the Hispanic, the Ortiz family that live across the street from sister husband. I want to say sister brother, but it's sister husband. Brother husband is her brother.
That's true.
So there's a Hispanic, the Ortiz family. They live across the way.
Right.
They are hiding with her in the storm shelter. There is Moses, who is, yes, he is a quote-unquote token black man, but again, this is middle of Oklahoma. And I can't imagine in this little tiny podunk town that there may be a bigger population of people of color, but we're seeing this little tiny piece of it that is.
You're only seeing this very small neighborhood, and an isolated area of her experience.
Yes, because this is all from Novalee's, so she may not be traveling beyond.
Well, we're not seeing that.
We're not seeing that. It's got.
I don't know. Maybe in the book it's more expansive.
Maybe it is, but we're seeing this. It's got great dialogue. I think the writing is fantastic in this movie. I don't think there's anything trite about it.
Sure. The
conversation, the fact that there's quotable moments. Why would a man on a Harley steal someone's pillows? Because he can.
Because he can.
I mean, it's silly, but it's not.
But it's indicative of the men in their lives that they are taking
spiteful, stupid.
Well, they're taken advantage of by these spiteful, shallow men who don't think beyond their own needs.
The only, I'd say 3, 4 if you count the exterminator, men in this movie. 5 if you count the lawyer that sister husband.
Who was kind.
Yes. So you got Moses, you've got Forney, you have Mr. Sprague or whatever his name is, Sprocket or something like that. You have the exterminator and you have the lawyer who sister husband got back on his feet and was his I'm assuming she was his sponsor in AA. He would call her.
Yes, she was a sponsor.
So those 5 men are really the only men who look at women with any type of kindness in this movie, with any type of respect. They don't look at them as if they're pawns, that they are pieces that they can own, possessions, toys, whatever. These 5 men are the only ones in that movie that look at women with any form of...
Well, what I like about that is that it's not a movie that vilifies men. It is a movie that vilifies the way someone acts.
Exactly. Because there are good men in this movie. It's not just the shitty men against the...
They're not just good men in this movie, but men who are examples to others.
Exactly. It's not men against women. It's women trying to get their lives and to grasp their autonomy, to be independent and to function in this world. But there are these 5 men who are very supportive of them and help them along the way.
I think we came into this movie thinking that maybe it wasn't going to be a lot to talk about.
No, I didn't expect it to be 3 hours later.
But that's kind of the thing I love about doing our podcast and talking about movies we've seen before and we think we know well. Mm-hmm. But we've changed. Our perspectives have changed or may have.
Oh, yeah.
But also, the movies are deeper. The movies have a deeper meaning once you look at them under the lens of an emotional...
Oh, yeah. Again, we tore... When we did Tremors, we tore into that movie based on, at first thinking, it's Tremors. But then when we started, thinking about the psychological depth of Kevin Bacon's character in that movie, and that he is a good guy. I mean, the fact that, like I said, the gratuitous underwear was not gratuitous. It was literally... She had to escape, and the thing had barbed wire on her pants,
And it wasn't a defining moment. It was a moment that happened, and it moved on.
And immediately they gave her clothes, so it wasn't like she walked around in her underwear for the rest of the freaking movie.
But it was also about the damage done to her legs.
Exactly.
And that brings on a clinical aspect, which takes away any sexual component.
Exactly.
And
that
really
would have been the
that.
moment, and that would have been a moment in any other movie that could have made it go, ugh.
But that's what this movie does. It does that with kindness.
It does it with kindness.
So you have a lot of horrid people doing horrid things sometimes, but then it's offset by the kindness of others who show that not everybody is like that.
Exactly. So that's why I'm saying this is on par.
Okay.
We haven't had an on par with Tremors.
I think it's close.
Just below.
I think it's very close. I think it's a really good...
I mean, it's missing a big old earthworm, but sure.
Sure, but I think it's a good... I'm going to say this, and I think it's not a stretch. This is a really good romantic film.
It's a very sweet movie.
It's a subtle romantic film. And it's about building yourself up before you find love.
Exactly. And I think that's something that should be anyway.
Sure.
Again,
what happened to us.
Yeah.
We got to build up,
And you have to find that perspective.
Sure.
And when you're younger, you do look at it in a different perspective. And I, again, like I said, related to it in a different way. And now I'm older and I'm looking at it in a different perspective. And I'm relating to this movie as looking back at my former self.
Sure.
And I am sad for that person. But also knowing that this is where you're going to be and that it's not so bad. And you'll get there. You'll get through the shit. It really is it makes me feel better too.
I think that younger people could watch this movie and find their own things in this as well, because again, it's one of those things that shows you that you may not have everything figured out, but you don't have to.
Oh yeah.
And that good people are still there even if there are bad people there.
Yes. And
don't give up hope that you're going to find your way.
And don't be too concerned about, like, if sometimes we have these movies and they're very aged.
Sure.
I don't think this movie... ignore the old cars. Ignore the lack of cell phones.
Ignore
really,
the cameras.
Well, no, I mean, because she finds the one in a
no, I mean, they're
market.
not digital. There's no digital cameras.
But other than that, this movie's very timeless, I feel.
Sure. I agree.
So if you would like to watch this movie, you're kind of limited. It's really only available on Apple TV, Fandango, and Amazon Prime. You can rent it between $3.79 and $3.99.
My suggestion is go to a store
and buy it.
And buy the Blu-ray or DVD.
Yeah, because this is...
That's the better way to do it, and you get to keep the physical copy.
And honestly, we don't often say this. We usually were like, hey, if you want to. But honestly, I think everybody really should see this movie.
I think so. I think if you're going to see movies, it should be things like Tremors or this.
Yeah, I think those are the two that... I mean, other than our favorites, because, Knight's Tale.
Yeah. So this has been Cozy Quilt Cinema with Beth and Michelle. While the name may be new, the journey remains the same. We're exploring our favorite movies to uncover those deeper emotions and insights. You can find us and continue the conversation wherever you listen to podcasts. Stay connected on Instagram and Blue Sky at Cozy Quilt Cinema, all one word, or share your thoughts with us via email at cozyquiltcinema@gmail.com. Please take a moment to subscribe, leave us a rating. It really helps us reach others looking for that emotional connection and for community.
Exactly. So, here is your hint/clues for next week. I'm excited about next week's movie, guys, because it is one of my favorites. So, Salvatore Ferragamo created the iconic specific article of clothing that appears in this tale. Also, the main character's design in their clothing in this movie is based on the 1865 illustrations made by Charles Perrault. And those are my...
Okay.
So if you want to dig deep, and I mean, they're not really there. It's not as deep as it sounds, guys. It's really right there on the surface.
Nice.
Charles is the key. So, really, until next time, I don't have a word for this one.
Fandango? I don't know. I don't know what you want me to say.
I don't know. We usually have a shout out.
A blurb of some kind?
We usually yell something. Marianne! We can't keep going back to Moonstruck.
No, but it is a good one.
Okay.
That is excellent.
We're gonna...
No, I think just remember that kindness exists.
And, yeah. And take a train ride. It's always fun.
Sure. Bye.
Bye.
Why would a man on a Harley steal a woman's pillows?
It's 'cause he could, I guess.